Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. I'm your host, Fred Schultz. Got to say hi real quick. Paul Farrell, Ryan Courtney, Tony Dietz, Ian Jocks, and Joshua Estrada. I mean, you guys are just the coolest. That's all I can say. You guys are the coolest. Tonight we're going to talk, a couple things. We got Bobby Poole's going to be on tonight from Gladiator Paintball. Down in San Luis Obispo, and we're going to talk a little bit about his event coming up, and it is going to be Cartel Wars. And quite a few people, go to that thing. I was there a couple years ago. Great event, great field, a lot of fun too. It's pretty cool. And then I'm going to have on my very good friend. He's a cool guy. Does an awful lot for a lot of people. He has the Ellie Remember Foundation. Thinks my monologue's too long, but other than that, he's really a good guy. I'm going to have Mr. Andy Stred on here tonight. Andy, I can't even begin to tell you what this guy does for people. He helps so many different people out, and not just the Ellie Remember. He's got a couple organizations he works with, and I got to tell you, he's a good man. So you're going to definitely enjoy listening to Andy and Bobby tonight. These are two great guys that do an awful lot for paintball. And everybody knows I like people that do things good for paintball. That's how we make it grow, everybody. I absolutely love it. And, and I absolutely love the people who watch this too. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in like this. So real quick, let me give my shout outs. I give these shout outs every week because one thing I don't want people to do is forget who really worked their buns off back in the day to make paintball what it is today. These guys not only put in tons and tons of money, but they put in tons of effort. And, would paintball be around today? Probably. But would it be in the capacity that it is? I pretty much doubt it. These guys are terrific. I start every week with Mr. Tim Schloss. Tim owns Gateway Paintball, and Tim actually has the last of the WCPL tournaments in October, and he has the new Tiger Stripe camouflage. Now, what I'm wearing is the original Tiger Stripe camouflage. It's not a knockoff, and it's they're selling them right now at Social Paintball. Great. I just love it. It feels so good to wear, and it's been 20 years ago. You had the original, and then everybody started knocking it off, and then now Tim's back with the original, and still has the paperwork for the original too. So I want to keep that in mind. Then I always mention Mr. Dan and John Colby. Dan Colby, Immortal Air. Now they were Air America back in the day. They've been my sponsor for 30 some years. Great guys. Just very good. And what they've worked so hard for paintball is incredible. And then I have Mr. Bud Orr. Bud, extremely good friend of mine. I absolutely love the guy. War Game Products, Autococker. You don't need to really say a lot about Bud. He's pretty cool. And then I say hi to Tom K. Tom K was my second market sponsor. Had Airgun Designs. Was with them for many years. And then Rainey and Juby Boucher had Paintball News back in the day. Two times a month. You could go out to your field and pick up a Paintball News. It told you what just happened, what was coming up, showed you where all the fields were located, talked about just everything. It was like the Bible of paintball. Absolutely loved it. And then Randy Camilla had was the editor for APG back in the day. And Jerry Braun was the editor for Paintball Sport magazine back in the day. And Jerry has Paintball Sports Field now in Newburgh, New York, where we just finished a terrific WCPL tournament. Absolutely great. And then Mr. Ross Alexander, my very first marker sponsor. Just a terrific guy. I still have my original Bushmaster up here that I used. Then Jim Lively, back in the day, there was 2 tournaments he wanted to do. One was Jim Lively's Masters, and the other was Jerry Braun's World Cup. It was like a homecoming. I mean, you went there, and all the people that you met that you thought were so great in paintball would show up at these 2 events. And then I got to mention Gino from Belkin. I mention Gino from Belkin every week because people really don't see what this guy does for paintball behind the scenes. You know, I am fortunate enough that I get to see this. Matter of fact, Gino's the one that turned me on to Tracy Perez back in the day, and we did a fundraiser for her. I wouldn't have never even known about it, but Gino brought this up. Gino's big in paintball. Gino does an awful lot with his business. Obviously, I mean, if the guy's not making money, then he's not in business. Duh. But what he does behind the scenes is terrific, and he's just a really, really good guy. So Gino from Belkin, terrific guy. And then I mention every week my 2 little young guns, Mark Gong Jr. and Jaden Gong, 2 terrific kids raised by some great parents, Mark Gong and Lily Gong. They've really, really done an awful lot to make these kids understand paintball, not just going out and be some of the best players they can be, but being some of the best people they can be off the field. And they've done terrific at that. They really, really have. And I see we got Stephen Snow watching, and my buddy Jeff Thompson, which is one of the new band members. And Ian Jocks is watching also. He is one of the new band members. I am so proud of these guys. It's not even funny. They're just absolutely terrific. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to drag these guys out. We're going to talk to Mr. Bobby Poole, Gladiator Paintball, down to San Luis Obispo. I mean, it's if you get a chance, you're going to want to go down there. I was down there a couple of years ago, and I mean, I had a scab on my chin because my jaw dropped when I walked into that place. It was so cool, and the way it's laid out, and he just has so many different activities. It's when you have somebody that's new to paintball, and they go out to a paintball park, and you want to take and have them see it. You want to have somebody like this, like Bobby Poole. It's just a great place. And we got Rob Walker watching right now. Now, Rob is doing the Montressor Classic, and that's coming up, and that's going to be at Fox Paintball. So you guys are going to want to check into that. And, like I tell everybody about these tournaments and big games, even if you're not going to play, go out there and support it. Show your support for these things. It's pretty cool. And, Rob, my hat's off to you, too. I've got the WCPL tournament coming up here in like 4 or 5 weeks. And it's going to be at Shooters Paintball up in Nicholas, California. And that's something I'm really looking forward to also. But, most people that haven't put one of these events on don't really appreciate what it takes to do it. I got to tell you, my buddy Keith Kissel and I on the last one worked our butts off, and I think we're going to do it again this time, and we're just going to make everybody happy. That's the whole ticket, period. So I gave my shout outs. I gave my love for all these people. Let me bring out a guy that I met a couple years ago. Terrific field. Please, everybody, welcome Mr. Bobby Poole. What's going on, Bobby?
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Living the dream.
Yeah, terrific. Yeah, I just we're getting a little feedback. I think we're getting feedback from you there, Bobby. You might have to go to an earpiece.
Okay, I can.
Yeah, grab an earpiece real quick. In the meantime, let me bring out my buddy, very, very good friend, works very, very hard, not just for paintball. He works hard for an awful lot of people outside of paintball. He works pretty hard at aggravating me, too, Let me see. I'm 10 minutes into it, so I'm not my normal 12 minutes. So he's probably not going to hit me hard on this one, though. So please, everybody, welcome Mr. Andy Starrett. What's going on, Andy?
Time. Yeah, you're right. 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'll go ahead, cut it short so I wouldn't have to listen to you. Andy, I'd like you to meet Bobby Poole. Bobby, this is Andy Starrett.
What's up, Bobby? Glad to meet you.
Uh-oh.
He's on mute now.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Unmute.
There we go. That's much better. Much better. So, you two guys, I brought you guys on tonight. You've got a great event that I got to go to a couple of years ago. The Cartel Wars is coming to your field. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about, how long has that been running? When did you guys actually get that thing going? You got to get a little closer to your mic, Bobby.
All right, yeah, this will be our 4th year doing it.
Okay.
Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah, 4th year doing it. We've got this is the 2nd year for the promoter that's doing it now. Isaac Sean Rodriguez. He's out of somewhere down in Southern California. He was in Arizona, now he's back in California. But he helps me put it on. He's in touch with the MagFest community. I'm just a lonely paintball fielder. So he kind of helps me put it on, get in touch with all the guys, line them all up, how many people need first strikes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
so this is a big mag. It's a big mag fed thing, then, right?
It's a mag fed only event, and they literally try to set it up to 3 different teams. So you have Del Norte against Del Sol, and then you have DEA, and they run crazy missions all Saturday and all day Sunday. And just last year we had 285 people. Right now, this year we're sitting on about almost 90 signed up, and then you can get that push the last 2 weeks up to it. So we'll probably be close to the same numbers this year, 250, 200 people. So that'll be good fun.
Right. Yeah, I got Gumby just chimed in. He said Gladiator Paintball Park is an awesome field in a beautiful area. That's Stephen Sandersola. What a great guy with the Clown Squad.
Yeah. Those guys come up. They rap pretty hard when they come up. I always have a good time with those guys. They usually come up once or twice a year. We'll do the Max Fed deal, and then we'll also do kind of a comp event. We get a lot of the guys in from all over California. We've got a group that comes out from New York City. New York Savages come out.
I remember that when I was down there, they were out here too. I remember the one guy was wearing a big sombrero when he was playing. It was crazy. I loved it.
All the characters come out for these things.
Yeah.
It's a fun weekend for us.
Yeah.
8th and 9th. Sign up online if you're interested in playing, guys. Teams are not, they're stacked teams in a certain way. It's good. Kind of based on who shows up and kind of figure out where people are from. Different squads will come up and we've got to put up there by their time.
Yeah.
But then, think the people can sign up and play.
Very cool. Andy, can you hear him pretty good?
I can hear him, but I got headphones on, but I was too busy looking at his webpage. PB.com, looking at the village field, trying to figure out where he keeps the cows and chickens, because this thing looks awesome.
Yeah, we can barely hear you, Bobby. Maybe get a little closer to the mic or something like that. But when I was down there, when I was telling Andy about you, Andy had to get. Andy's a computer whiz, so anyhow he jumped on the computer right away and he pulled it up and he goes, "Oh my God, I got to go to this place." So
it's fun. We got 10 acres. I've got 9 different fields, including speedball. We have 2 jelly ball fields, so technically 11 fields, but those are more for the younger crowd and the people that are just playing jelly ball. We do glow in the dark stuff on that. well, it's speedball, and then 10 acres of regular fields from old school hyperball. We got a field that's constructed of houses of urban village, and of course junkyards, and school bus, airplanes, boats, campers, you name it.
Yeah.
And those guys, when they come out for cartel wars, they'll play 2 fields across, so they got areas. And it's crazy. It's first strike round, it's Philippines, it's smoke bombs, it's anything and everything. But not that over.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, no, when I was down there, I was real impressed with everything. You got the axe throwing. I mean, just everything was just clean and so set up. I was very impressed. That's why I wanted to hook you and Andy up. Andy does. He has the Ellie Remember Foundation, and the guy does a lot for a lot of people. I mean, it's amazing what he does, and maybe somewhere down the line in the future, you guys could link up and do something together too.
Tie Fred shoes.
Yeah, he ties my shoes for me. So
feed him dinner before events. All those things.
I'm a lonely field
Comb his hair.
Anybody wants to do anything at the park, call me and we'll set it up. It's kind of like I just have a field and we look for people to come play. So I'll do any event, anytime, any place.
Yeah, because you know what I like to do, Bobby. Is like I say, when everybody works together in the sport, we make the sport look even better, and we make the sport even bigger and better. And it's just like drawing people into your event. I was so impressed when I went down there. I just and I didn't bring my playing gear. I brought my pod gear. So I did a podcast. Yeah. And I had a riot. People were coming up. I was just. It was terrific. And then you played that night. You play in a band, right?
Well, if you want to call it that, but yeah.
I thought it was.
Band. We've got a band and we just play. It's a good place for.
So Saturday night.
Practice.
Yeah. So Saturday night, are you guys going to play Saturday night then?
I'm actually not going to play this year. We've got our guitarist is a younger guy, and he's actually in college, and he went home for the summer. So he left us without a guitarist about 2 weeks ago, and so we're going to bringing somebody new in and all that kind of stuff. So we probably wouldn't be up to par for that. So we probably won't do it this year, but it'll be a super fun time. I love when these guys come out. Fire pit, of course, wine, all that kind of stuff. So they can set up and have all the kind of fun they want. And on the back side of the San Luis Obispo National Guard base, you don't have to come to the base to get to my park. Cool.
So your event is July 8th and 9th then, right?
Yeah. And they can come in Friday night. So a lot of guys will come in and camp Friday, and then they go off 9 a.m. Saturday morning, and play freaking all day Saturday, and then they'll get up and play till about 2 or 3 on Sunday and get out of it. So.
Got it. So Andy, now you have an event that I'm actually coming to.
But first we have to go to his field because he has axe throwing, Fred.
I do.
Axe throwing.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the axe throwing because I threw it and I did pretty darn good. And then my buddy Keith Kissel stepped up there. And I got to tell you, the lucky of the Irish, he hit dead center right off the bat. Now, this has been 2 years, and I still have not heard the end of this yet. So
you probably never will.
You're probably right there.
You are.
Andy, come on down anytime you want. We'll make you a certified axe thrower.
Yeah. No, I go axe throwing with my wife. We love it. I just noticed that. I was like, axe throwing? I may never make it out to the field.
But like I say, the setup, the way he's got it set up is actually pretty darn cool. And everything is, the way it's set up is so precise. It's like actually going to an amusement park. So, it's not all jumbled. It's this is over here. He's got his buildings in between, his shops and stuff. And then it's a great setup. It really, really is.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Fred.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the truth, though. You know, if it sucked, I just wouldn't say nothing. But it's just really, really a nice layout, and the way you've done it. Like I say, like I said earlier, when people come out that don't play paintball and they come out and they want to check it out, that's what you want them to go see, is something like that. Then it just makes it more, to me, legitimate. It's more of a, they walk in and they go, oh, this is pretty darn cool. I think I'm going to give this a shot. So that's why I liked it, Bobby. I think I think what you've done down there is very, very good.
Thank you.
Yep. And then Andy does a lot of stuff for a lot of people. On October 1st, I'm going out there to Colorado because I was supposed to go last year and didn't go. So I'm going to go this year for sure. And I'm going to probably link up with Mean Gene. Now, Mean Gene, Bobby, from down there in LA. And then Dave Cook. I think we're going to put us a 3-man together and go out there and don't be laughing at me. Oh, he does. He breaks me down mentally. I talk to the guy, I walk away crying. What's going on?
Yeah.
So anyhow, yeah, we're gonna put together a 3-man because they have he has a bunch of stuff. He has a big raffle where he gives all kinds of stuff away, and all the money goes to the charities. Yeah, the auction all goes to the charities, and then they have a 3-man tournament. Am I right?
So there's the online auction that we do every year. At the event that day, there'll be the 3-man, which is the last of the Colorado Championship Series. That's a combined effort of dynamic paintball and blitz paintball to do a thing back and forth between the two fields, which is going really well. So hats off to Mike and Isaac for that one. So that'll be the last event of that series. And then, of course, the rec field, which looks a lot like we were talking about his fields, where he's got the houses and all the different things. That's what dynamic looks like out there. So there'll be rec games going on of various degrees with that new fun game that I was telling you about the last 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
A week ago or so. We're out playing WCPL.
In New York.
In New York.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've recovered yet.
I know. It was a great time, though. Man, I got to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
We need to drag Bobby out to one of these. We have a team called the Band. Bobby, it's got Bud Orr and it's just, the band. It's just got some great people in it. And do we expect to go out and blow people away? No, but we go out to have a great time. And
unless we're playing Team Fox.
Yeah.
All right, Rob. Got to bring that up again.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We did beat Team Fox.
Decisively.
Yeah, it was. That was pretty good. But yeah, Bobby, I think you'd enjoy it. I think you enjoy the people we hang with, and plus you got young legs too. We always look for that,
Mm-hmm.
See them.
You're not getting a whole lot younger.
Well, yeah. You would probably be. No, you're not the youngster on our team anymore. We got a couple of guys that are younger, but most of our guys are what, 60 plus. Am I being polite, Andy?
Got me and Caesar right there in the 53 range with Jeff and Martine, and then we just added Ian, so at least he's 33.
Yeah,
so
and then Bud,
and then
Tim
the
and I are
rest
in
of
the
you
70s.
Dinosaurs are as old as Richard Wilcox, and
I was going to say, God, he's like 98, isn't he?
Bud's watching right now.
Good. He doesn't look a day over 98.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'll give Fred props though for being old and having to leave his walker at the flag station. He was
I know.
He was getting down the field, and I got pictures to prove it. And he was styling and profiling out there.
You know why, Bobby? It was all downhill.
Yeah, I don't know if he hit anybody, but he sure looked good doing it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Covered in paint, right?
What?
I covered in paint, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd enjoy the people too, Bobby. It's pretty cool, And maybe sometime next year we can get the band and come down to one of your events.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Bring Bud and Tim Schloss and everybody, Dan Covey, drag all these guys down there and just have a fun time going out on your place and shooting the heck out of people. Yeah. Hey, we got Bill Bailey joining us here too. Let me bring him up.
Oh, there went the neighborhood.
What's going on, Billy?
Oh, not much. Just now got the internet working right.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Bobby Poole on. Bobby has Gladiator Paintball down there in San Luis Obispo. Very, very cool field. And then the other guy. So
yeah, it's that Andy guy.
Yeah, it's that Andy guy. Yeah. Matter of fact, I could only, instead of my 12-minute monologue, I could only do 10 minutes because I was so afraid to bring him on.
So what you guys been talking about?
12. Oh,
Steve's the one that told me to time it.
Yeah. Oh, he did, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's a little conspiracy going on here.
Right.
I think
Go ahead, Bill. Can you hear me?
I think I'm still having issues.
We can hear you.
Yeah,
we
but I think I'm still having issues.
Well, Bill, it is a new century and people have high speed and not dial-up. So.
On my end, it's dragging a lot.
Oh, is it really? It's perfect on this end.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay.
He's not on AOL, is he?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about, Bobby does the cartel wars. Bobby does the cartel wars every year down there at his place. It's a MagFed thing. And, Gumby shows up, Mean Gene shows up down there, and when I was down there a couple of years ago, I got to hang out with those guys, and I was amazed that, I set up my little studio down there, and, Bobby made us feel right at home, but the people just kept coming by. It was great event. It's what you want people to see about paintball, man. And the field was cool as hell, but I didn't bring my equipment with me, but boy, I was tempted to take my street clothes, borrow a mask and a marker, and get out there, but I didn't do it.
For paintball. So they're interesting with that whole, top hockey, this guy travel well. There's a bunch of people going up from Phoenix, they travel well. A lot of people from LA and that area. But I love it. Florida, New York, Denver. So I love to see, how those things, who comes from the farthest place, kind of, all that kind of stuff. So that's just awesome. So the New York guys are coming back, the New York Saturdays. So, they're a good group of guys. So New York Boston.
Yeah, they were great guys. Yeah, the Savages, they were great guys. And Bill, this guy went out there. He had a sombrero that was like this big. That was his paintball hat that he wore out there. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But what was cool though is everybody enjoyed it. Everybody that came by when we were going live, I went live with the Reaper down there, and David Justin, and and I mean everybody that was coming by just absolutely loved it. They really did.
Yeah, they do all scenario based missions. And, it's fun, crazy, those guys.
Yep, Bill has a field also. He has Bailey's Battlefield. So, you get a chance to look that up. But, you get a chance, Bill. You want to look up Gladiator Paintball. I mentioned it to Andy, and Andy was all over. I mean, by the time I got done talking, Andy had it up on his site looking at it.
Yeah.
He's going, oh, crap, I got to go play this place, man.
And where's Bill's place located?
Oh, that's a cool town. I was there. I was there in the early '90s. It's a San Luis Obispo is a really cool town.
It's pretty cool, yeah. They got the South Paulo University, South Paulo State. So I get, kids coming from there, which is kind of cool. And then, Mora Bay and all the different, area high schools and stuff. So yeah, they got a good group to pull from. It's still not a, 7-day-a-week place like LA, which I guess we're still only Saturday and Sunday, and that's literally what we could pull. But this is good. We had a shitty December January, February, March, because we needed a park, you know, to try to play. With so much rain. And it was just horrible. It flooded some of the fields, some stuff washed away, some of the netting washed away. I had about $30,000 worth of damage from netting and wind and all that stuff. So I had to rebuild a bunch of stuff. But it's back and strong. And back up good because it's rock.
Yeah, you know, we got more rain this last year than I think we've got in the last 20 years altogether. It blew me away. I couldn't believe how much rain we were getting.
Yeah.
It's good. You're not burning down, at least.
Well, this year. That's
This
this year, yeah.
This year will burn. Yeah, next year it's flip flops every either burning or drowning.
There you go.
There's no in between.
So, Andy, tell us, you know, we're going to do yours on October 1st. You know, we're going to try to get a lot of people to come in to do that.
Yep.
If people want to donate to that, you know, donate prizes for the giveaway and stuff like that, would they just get on Ellie Remember Foundation on site, or how would they do that?
Well, I mean, at any given time, you can get on the Ellie Remembered webpage at ellieremembered.org and do donate. But for this event, the auction will go up. I got to start working on some auction stuff. Let's see if Bud can build some more snipers. I don't know if he's got any bodies, but we'll round up some stuff. Our good friends over at across the pond, I guess I should say, in the UK, that are named after that well-known movie Predator, are doing something special. Marcus said, of a one-of-a-kind UK Pred something. I don't know what it is yet, that they're going to be sending over for the event. So I'm excited to see what that is. Who knows? I don't know if it's going to be a gun or camo or what, but if it's Predators, we're going to like it.
So it's pretty cool to see him in New York, that's for sure.
That was a great game, too.
Yeah.
The band held the UK Preds to a minute 18. Yes.
Yeah. Minute and 18. That was pretty darn good.
Yeah, not too bad for a bunch of old guys. Well, they got a few old guys over there, too. But yeah,
old guys and
like
me,
that.
though, you know.
No, I don't think Marcus is as old as you.
No, he's not. No, he's getting up there, but yeah, he's a little younger. Him and Bart Farmer both are a little younger than I am.
Yeah.
Or maybe a lot younger, you know. I'll go with little. I'll go with a little.
I don't know if let me take my shoes off. We count that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Stuff like that's available. At the event, there'll be a raffle going on. Other little things where people can, come in, donate, stuff like that. We'll start getting links, things like that posted up for it. For anybody who wants to participate. Usually the raffles, or not the raffle, the auction is usually the big thing that goes down, because we've always got a lot of unique things in there. Hormesis, my boys Yosh and Alex, and them always donate stuff for that. So yeah, it'll be a good time. So of course you'll be out there.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
We'll just put a bucket on you with, and it says donate, and you can just carry it around.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
I'll just make sure it doesn't weigh 50 pounds like the bag I gave you at World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah. Bobby, what he's talking about is we went to World Cup this year, and Andy collected, 2 huge bags full of things that we walked around and we gave out to the kids for all the young guns, because they had 24, 25 young gun teams there. And, these bags they weighed a ton. He collected so much stuff. And I know I got the heavier one. I'm positive of it. So, but I found a lot of change like that all bent over. That was pretty cool. I found a nickel here and a nickel there. So, but yeah, it was. We had a really, really a good time doing that. So,
our Montressors Marauders kids team's going to be out at ICC, or the Montressor Classic, as it's now called. Everybody still calls it ICC, but Jen's event, like you were just talking about, out at Fox. Yep. We'll be out there with the Expendables team, which is the Ellie Remember team, 2 Colorado United teams. So we're bringing 3 teams from Colorado with Mike, who's the owner of Dynamic, whose fields you're coming to. But, don't just talk about Ellie Remembered. Dynamic Paintball and Mike, he has a very autistic son. So for the last 18 years, he's been doing an autism game. Used to be a tournament. Last few years, it's turned into a tournament with the big game. And then, 2 years ago, I think it's been 2 years now, we combined it with our game to make one charities game instead of trying to do two different events. Since Colorado's kind of, isolated, and we have a lot of players, but we're not like East Coast or West Coast where, Bobby's Field could throw an event and 10,000 people would show up because they're from all over California. We don't have that kind of player base here.
Oh, we can make that happen, Bobby.
Yeah. Just
I don't know about 10,000, but we could get $1,000, I bet you.
Oh, yeah. It's harder for us. I mean, we get people from Kansas, Wyoming, Utah and stuff that'll come in. But that's a drive for people.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're going to try to pull them from all those states this time and, have a good time. So, but,
yeah, I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm psyched to come and do it, actually. Just to hang out. You wouldn't know it, Bobby, just to look at him, but the guy is fun to hang out with. I got to tell you, he's
watch our videos.
He seems a little boring to me, but
he's a damn riot. I feel like if he was better looking, I'd feel like I was talking in a mirror. But
there you go. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. He's just looking a lot older, Fred.
Oh,
it's a good thing, because I would think I'm looking at that going, where's all these wrinkles coming from?
No, I got to tell you, there's very few people I like to really hang with, but he's definitely one of them. He's worth hanging with. Bobby, real quick on your event now. How can people, because you want to try to pre-register as much as you can, but if they show up the same day, they can still play though, right?
Yeah. I'm just, if you're shooting things first time, pre-registers helps me out with ordering these things because they're still like, trying to get gold, getting them made and all that kind of fun stuff. But it's about the only event I have that use first strikes at, so I don't keep a abundance of them on hand after the event. So I want to try to, get them all sold or, be close to it. And we're usually pretty good about it with how people order and know what's coming in. But I definitely usually sell out. So it's kind of like, the more I know, the better, and I'll have enough supply. I don't want to carry them and hold them for a year. It's the only event we use for.
So what would they get on if they want to pre-register? Is there anything special they get if they pre-register, or they just it gives you an idea of how many people, how much to get out there?
You can camp at the facility. I'm dry camp for it. We'll have probably 60 to 70 people camp. You can tent camp. Got an area where after first where they camp and have a good time out there. I've got an area where you got campers.
Oh, very cool.
You kind of hook up and hook up, so it's kind of dry camping. But there's enough portalets and everything around there. So it's just better to pre-register so I know kind of how many people are camping, how many first start times we have. We did have, up until a week ago, we had early registration, so there was kind of a discount if you signed up then. And we did a bunch of marketing for that. And so it's a pretty good turnout. But it's funny. It's like 2 weeks before, and everybody just go from 150 to 225 people, 75 people, right? Boom, just kind of signed up the last weekend. That's fine. That's fine too. We're going to accommodate that. And you can sign up, but you can day up. You can come play just Saturday. You can come play just Sunday. So you don't have to be there for the whole week.
Well, one thing I've noticed, we got your partner on here now too, Chong. He's the guy that is actually holding it. I'm going to pull him up here in a minute. But one thing I found, Bobby, is a lot of people wait until like the last week to actually register because they're trying to get it, everything set. Some people, can I get off? Can I do this and stuff? So the last week should be pretty good. Now I'm going to bring up this gentleman right here. Now this is the guy that's working with you on this. or is this the guy that's actually doing it, huh?
Yeah. So Chong basically runs it. He promotes it. He's one of the crazies that plays in it. Give him some grief because the year before last he passed out playing in it. Had a heat stroke, so we give him crap every year about it and make sure he's got enough water so he doesn't, have a little pass out to it, like a little sissy. But
well, a good field owner would run behind him with an umbrella, though. Come on.
Well, he's not getting a participation trophy. That's not how we roll.
Please, everybody, welcome Chong. How are you doing this evening?
He is.
Hey, how's it going?
Are you hydrated?
It's going
yes,
good.
Always.
Yeah. Hey, I want to introduce you to my very good friend too. This is Andy Starrett from the LA Remember Foundation. We're talking about your event, and we're talking about his event tonight. And so I was real glad that you got to jump on, because Bobby's been telling us a little bit about it. And I guess you're like the tip of the spear on this deal, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I took it over from Ivinsky the last year officially. The year before last, we co-hosted, and I keep trying to expand it. As of right now, it's one of the only larger MagFed scenario events in California, since some of the other ones haven't happened in a couple of years. So we just keep growing every year.
Yeah, but you couldn't find a better place, though. I mean, his facility, that's what we were talking about earlier, is his facility is really a top-notch facility.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, not only with it helps us elevate our play in our scenarios, because it's one of the few facilities too where we could use explosives and smoke, and that just, as scenario players, we love that stuff.
It's World War III. When they take over.
Yeah.
17 fires last year. We're prepared for it, but yeah, they throw down.
So we're going for 20 fires this year.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So are you, Chong, are you like the captain of one team and then you have another team, or do you just handle the event and get out there and play, or what do you do exactly?
I pretty much handle the events. I write myself in a lot as a mission staples. That way I could get in there and shoot pretty much anybody, and I don't have to pick a side. So that gets a little fun at times. This year I am taking it a little bit easier due to some health issues that I'm recovering from currently. But I'm still gonna get out there and shoot some people. It's been since December since I've stepped on the field while I've been through my recovery, so I can't wait to get back out there.
Oh, right on. So you can go with either team then, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I could jump back and forth all I want.
Yeah, we do. Andy and I just got done playing a tournament, a 10-man in New York, and Andy was the only guy coming off the field saying, "I got 11." So we're wondering which one of us got shot in the back. So
that's because I shot myself in the foot after I pulled and hung the flag.
Oh, that was the 11.
Oh, you get 11, Fred.
Yeah, that's how it worked. Okay, I got you.
Hey, it hits a hit, right?
Yeah, it hits a hit. Yeah. Hey, Chong, real quick to get you up to speed. Andy does the LA Remember Foundation, along with a bunch of other foundations. He raises money, and then he helps all kinds of people. He really does. Not to blow smoke up his butt, but he really, really does an awful lot for a lot of people. So, and he's a pretty good guy too, Bobby doesn't think so, but I think he's okay.
A little boring.
Haven't seen us together yet, Bobby.
Hey, let me tell you, it took years to get him out of his shell, but now I got him out of there. I'm about ready to look for the shell to get him back in it.
Try to stuff him back in there.
Oh, just wait, Fred. You just wait.
I know that. So, Chong, how long have you been playing MagFed? And real quick, what got you into MagFed? When I put somebody on my show, everybody wants to know, how did you get into what you do? How did you get into it?
So pretty much, I played paintball when I was younger in my teens and everything. And then I went into the military. And as an adult, I was trying to find a hobby to get back into, to be able to relieve some stress and everything. And then paintball popped back into my head. And as I was doing my research again on paintball and how markers have changed and everything, I came across MagFed. And, you know, especially prior military, I instantly fell in love with the whole MagFed, the realism, the limited shots, so they have to count more. And then you bring in the FSRs into the picture, and, you know, eyes are popping out of my head. I have to jump in there.
So that's what got you hooked on it then, huh?
Yeah, definitely. The realism. And once I went out there and I got to be part of the community again and going to different parks, traveling to different states, being able to play, I realized the MagFit community is pretty strong. Just like any other paintball community out there, you know, we bump heads because it's a competitive nature when we're out there. But off the field, we all get along and we have a strong community online and offline.
Out here in California, it's pretty big. You'd be surprised how many people out here in California do the MagFit. I mean, these guys show up and they're dressed for bear. Period. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
They are dressed for bear. You're like, oh my goodness.
We've got a pretty large, or growing, I should say, MagFed community here. Where now there's a Facebook page in Colorado, and you're seeing more and more guys out at the field every weekend, playing in with the regular, you know, on the rec play with it. So yeah,
yeah, definitely. Dynamic.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, some of these markers that they have, you just look at it, and I mean, it looks as real can get. They're just absolutely amazing, you know. And some of the guys out here, they'll go out and they'll have their rifle, but then they got sidearms. I mean, they are, like I say, they're dressed for bear. So did you have a team? Did you form a team after you got going?
Yeah, I got going. I formed a team. My team, we did pretty good. And then shortly after being involved and seeing the community and seeing there's a few events out there, but not necessarily as competitive as I like them. I like to be highly intense and very competitive. So that's when I started UMFL, and we became a scenario and MagFed tournament group, and that's what we started going on. So as I expanded UMFL, I dissolved my team and I ended up joining Blackwater Mercenaries. All our teams formed into one, and that let me focus more on the expansion of tournaments and scenario play. And pretty much just everyone knows when you go out to a UMFL event, it's going to be intense. You know, we don't really believe in the surrender rules or anything like that. We're play and play hard.
Yeah. So how did you get linked up with Bobby then?
Through Ivan. Ivan reached out to me about 2 years ago. Because he was going to have to step away from promoting events, and he had just taken over Cartel, and it's growing in California. And as we were growing in the MagFed community, especially, he reached out to me and to co-host with him. So me going out there and helping him put on the event 2 years ago is how me and Bobby linked up. And since then, he's like a thorn that you can never pull off your side. He just keeps bugging and bugging.
Yeah, you could. Shit, so I can promote it. You know.
Yeah, you know, he has a great feel, but you know, Bobby just seems like the guy to work with too, to do something.
No, yeah, definitely. You know, I've thrown events across the U.S. and for a while we had events going on East Coast and Texas, here in California, every single month, and working with different field owners. You know, some are a lot easier, some are a lot more difficult to work with, and Bobby's definitely on the top of the list as the easier ones to work with. And you know, he definitely is there. He knows that you're putting in your time and your effort into helping bring people out to the park and helping the park grow as well. So, you know, as a promoter, we value that because we do put in a lot of time. We do put in a lot of work, not only in developing these games, but in trying to get the people out to the fields, until whether it's experiencing a new field or just getting a look at a field in a different way. It helps both us and the field grow, and him taking us into consideration, you know, makes us want to keep working with that owner, or in this case with Bobby, and continue to grow together.
Right. You know, that was very well said too. And, you know, and that's one reason, and be honest with you, that Bobby's on, is because, you know, when Bobby contacted me before, I was all in for anything he wanted, because when I was down at his place down there, I seen how he treated people. I seen how he made everybody down there was smiling. They were having a great time, including me,
yeah.
you know. And so, you know, that's one thing that I push big time is, you know, if we're going to keep growing our sport, mag, fed, paintball, all of it, if we're going to keep growing it, this is what it takes to do it, is people like that. And people like yourself too. You know, John, you just presented yourself really, really good. And you know, you're straight up answers. I love it. You know, no him han, no, see, this is a kid show, so I got to be cool with it. But you know, no him han. I'll go with that. That was pretty good the way you put that out there. And Andy, you know, Andy does the same thing. Andy works extremely hard for a lot of other people outside of paintball, but he is 100% paintball, and what he does always reflects good for the sport. Same thing Bobby does. So
yeah, but Fred, Bobby's more like a silent partner.
So you're still hot about him seeing you were old, huh?
Yeah, he's there, but nobody can hear him. So I'm like,
he's taking the gloves off.
Gotta be Chung's silent partner.
Yeah. As a field owner, all you want to do is, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care what you come out to do. People are spending their hard-earned money. And I want them to leave with a damn smile. And I can honestly say, I don't think I've ever had anybody that I know of be pissed off when they leave my field.
But you know, Bobby, not every field owner is that way. You know, I don't understand it either, and I don't think they really care.
They play pickleball. You know, if you treat somebody like that, it's like, well, I'm not going to do paintball with them. I'm not going to do axe throwing. I'm going to go to pickleball or something else. Like, no, come on here. I want to have something for you to do.
A lot of them just take. A lot of them just take the money and run. You know, and you can see by your facility what you've stuck back into it. You know, I mean, all that stuff didn't look cool for nothing. You know, there's a lot of time, effort, money done in. You know. But when people come out, they look at it and they're like, "Hey, this is pretty darn cool," you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, that's one thing I definitely noticed with Bobby's facility is, you know, I've been going there for 3 years already, and you know, I've been privileged enough to go a couple times a year since I don't live in the area and play the fields. And every time I go, you could see the expansion and the love that's put into the field, not only for the players, but you know, it's one of the few fields in the whole states that I've been to where there's a second level spectating area where family could literally watch all the fields and watch people play, or in this case, in scenarios, you could build a crowd up there that starts cheering on teams.
That's absolutely right. You know, Andy, I don't know if you've seen that, but he does have bleachers there. It's and there's I think, if I remember, wasn't there a stand up there that you could go up on, some kind of stand or something?
Yeah, but the biggest issue I had with paintball when we took over the park is, you know, parents wanted to see their kids play. And we've got a 10-acre field. They can't see 3 fields over. So I took 2 seat frames, put them together, a 20-footer and a 40-footer, and built a staircase up to it, and then built a deck on top of that. And so there's a deck, there's 3 or 4 tables and chairs and umbrellas, so you can take a beer, wine, whatever you want up there, beer and wine license, so you can get beer and wine there. It's not a $9 beer, it's a $4 beer. And
it's pretty cool.
Have guys going, look at it, come here and drink and play. And I'm like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, and I can't tell you how many moms will come and do a birthday party there, and I'm like, you go get a glass of wine, you go sit up there, we'll entertain the kids for an hour. Oh my God. You know, so,
that's pretty cool.
Got to do that. We'll do it for everybody.
Yeah, maybe we could drag Andy out to Southern Cal sometime and take him out there, and
should come out for the WCPL event and help you.
Yeah, that's up north though. That's a long ways from where he is. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Central.
Next year now, you come out next year when we hold the WCPL down there at Ambush, and then that's not far to drive to his place from there.
Ambush is down hour and a half.
Yeah, that's not far. You know, from up here it's like 7. So, you know, that's not far.
That's because traffic sucks so bad. 6 of it's just sitting there going nowhere.
And besides that, you know, our state is not the size of a postage stamp like the East Coast. You know, it's got all these little states all the way down there. You know, we're just one big hunk all the way down there. So it's pretty cool. So, Chong, so you're all ready then, the 8th and the 9th, right?
Yeah, we're doing a few final details. You know, unfortunately, I got a late start this year while I've been dealing with getting back on track health wise,
Right.
and then so we're finalizing a few details, but for the most part, everything's set. It's just clearing up some of the missions that we could get set in. But we run longer missions than some other scenarios. We're not running the 30-minute, 60-minute missions. We're running 90 to 2-hour missions. So players are in charge of getting off the field and hydrating themselves and keeping their air going. And at the end of the day, supporting their team. You don't want to step off too long.
That's very cool. Right on. And then Andy, I am looking forward to coming out and doing your stuff, and like I say, maybe sometime we could come out here. Yeah, and maybe sometime we could drag Bobby out to Colorado. But maybe we could drag Bobby into guesting on the band sometime.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah,
I need somebody to carry my marker back and forth from the field to the staging area.
Hey, now I didn't say water boy. We tell him that when he gets here.
Oh, that's right.
Not ahead of time. Come on.
First guesting is,
you're killing me. Well, so much for that secret. Well, I got to tell you,
stuff like this too, Chong. I know that Mike, the owner of Dynamic, where Fred's coming out for our charity game, would like to do some type of a mag-fed type of event like that as well. So might have to get you two hooked up, and
there you go.
Something to do there, and kind of do some kind of a Midwest mag-fed thing out at his field.
And that's
that'd be great, definitely.
Yep,
I haven't done one in Colorado yet. Love to get in there.
Now, see, now that's what I'm talking about, building paintball right here. Just what I talked about, I mean, even with Bobby teasing Andy still likes Bobby. So, things have all worked out,
Bobby doesn't know me very well, Fred. So,
I'm actually afraid to have him get to know you. But,
scary. Yeah.
He's in the mix now, so.
Yeah.
But, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody working together to make it bigger, just like what you just told Chong, and just like we were talking to Bobby, we'll come down to do something at Bobby's, maybe have a big game or something down there and just draw 1,000 people, and we'll just go open it up and shoot the crap out of everybody and have a great time,
Even Kevin Donaldson's now saying he'd like to do something in New York. We did, Kevin. We just came to your field and played. Take a rest, Kevin. Go sit down, drink a beer, have a cigar, and relax for a couple of months for all the hard work you did and all the hospitality you showed us on the band and every other team in existence 2 weeks ago. Just relax,
I loved it. I think he did a great job. Great, and I got a golf cart to drive around, so I really didn't have to walk anywhere. So,
it goes faster downhill if you take it out of gear.
Yeah, it did. I felt a little spoiled, but you know what? That's too bad. I had a great time. So,
well, you look
guys,
though.
Yeah.
Two old guys in golf carts. It was great.
We had a good time, though. I got to tell you. And hanging with you, Andy, it's a pleasure. So there's got to be a better word for it, but I'll go with a pleasure.
Well, somebody had to tell you, hey, Fred, the field's over here. Drink your water. Here's your vitamins.
You did good though too.
Well, I did as a co-captain. I had to take care of
I saved $50 because I didn't have to have that male nurse over there.
That's true.
So it worked out great. I was happy, man.
Well, we had the Valkyries and everybody else helping us out, so it was all okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. We've gone through our hour. I want to thank Bobby. I want to thank you for coming on tonight. I think your field it's one of the nicest fields I go to, period. I just think it's terrific. I'm looking forward very much to coming back down there. And I also want to say that you are more than welcome anytime on my show to talk about any event that you have coming up.
So, it'd be great to hear from you, Bobby.
Yeah. So, Chong, I'm going to start with you, buddy. I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody, Chong. And I'm glad you jumped in. I know you got in a little late, but I'm very glad that you jumped in. I was very glad to have met you and have you meet Andy also. And, look up Ellie Remember Foundation and Andy Starrett, Chong, and maybe you guys can do something in Colorado together. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Definitely, I will.
about it.
So I'll let you say goodbye to everybody.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you for having me on. Everybody, remember Cartel Wars 5 is our 5th year doing this at Gladiator. Sign up now at gladiatorpb.com. Make sure you register. If for some reason you can only register right now and you can't get all your paint and you want them first strikes, or even if it's round ball, make sure to email the park so we can have enough paint for everybody out there. Let's get crazy. This year we're focusing a little bit more on the violence like we used to. So let's get crazy out there. Let's do a lot of paint. Let's throw them smoke grenades and let's have fun, guys.
All right. You have a good evening, Chong. Thanks again.
Chong,
Thank you.
the voice
All
of
right,
Gladiator people.
Right on. That was Chong, everybody. You're right, Bobby. You told me he was a cool guy. You called it.
He's a hell of a promoter, and he does a really good job with that whole community. It's a unique group of guys, and he does very well with them.
Very cool. Well, I'm looking.
To deal with.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to doing something with you in the future too. Maybe we can link up and we can do something. Anything that supports paintball. We just all need to work together on it. So, Bobby, I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody, and I want to thank you right off the top for taking your time to come on tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate all the kind words you said about the park. Love to have you anytime you want to come down, Fred. Andy, not so much. Bring your hearing aid up next time.
You won't have me coming. Don't worry.
And yeah, let's do it again soon, guys.
You got it. All right, Ann. You take it easy now, Bobby. All right,
guys,
Andy, say goodbye, Andy.
It's going to be painful when we're together because Fred's
say goodbye. Be nice,
God,
Andy.
Yeah. What's your
No, I just said I like this guy.
what's your poison of pleasure?
Oh, all kinds of them.
Okay, good. Me too. So we get along well.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Bobby. You have a good evening, my friend.
Thanks, guys. See you soon. All right.
All right. All right, everybody. That was Mr. Bobby Poole, owner of Gladiator Paintball down there in San Luis Obispo. Terrific guy. Andy's hooked up with a pretty good guy with Chong, too,
Yeah.
Chong seems like he's got it together. And, that's what I really like. I just like building paintball, and what you said about bringing Chong in, and hooking up with him and maybe setting something up at Dynamic. I mean, how cool is that?
Well, I mean, I wasn't kidding. It's growing. I'm actually a part of the MagFed page, even though I don't actually own a MagFed yet. I'm like, I need to go get one. But you just see the excitement in the fields that are doing it here in Colorado, like Dynamic, and I think Blitz does a little bit of MagFed. I know the guys go out there and play with that, but you're starting to see more and more people trying it out.
Right.
Like that. So it's like,
yep, they are.
Do a MagFed game out there. That's something that hasn't been done around here. Oh yeah, Mike's saying that he's renting them now. Sorry, Mike, I hadn't seen him in the back. I guess I wasn't paying attention. But Mike's renting them out now too, so it's picking up more and more and more. So
yeah, no, it's pretty big out here too. Well, Andy, I appreciate so much for taking the time to come on tonight. Definitely looking forward to going back there and doing the Ellie Remember Foundation event with you. I think that's going to be a kick in the pants. I'm looking forward.
Dynamic charity. Got to have them both in there.
There you go.
Dynamic autism.
There you go.
So we'll have Karen out there since he's my neighbor.
There you go.
So he'll be following you around.
Well, let's say goodbye to everybody, and thanks again.
Bye. No, looking forward to that, and obviously come out and play some woods ball with the band and the WCPL. And a little shout out to Mr. Fred's longtime sponsor, Air America, aka Immortal Air. John and Dan will be joining with an Immortal booth in the Ellie Remembered booth at Montresor, or the ICC Montresor Classic out there at Fox Paintball. So come see Dan and John and look at some Immortal stuff, and we'll have MacDev in the booth with us and all kinds of fun stuff out there for that event.
Sounds great. And that's at Fox Paintball, and that's in July, I believe, 29th and 30th. Absolutely, yep. Montresor Classic. You're going to want to go check it out. All right, Andy, appreciate it very much, my friend.
Thank you, man. Me Cap.
All right, brother. Have a good evening.
Later.
All right, everybody. I appreciate it so much. You guys tuning in tonight. Great people. I love having Andy on. Andy's he's a kick in the pants. So if you get a chance, you're going to want to go do the Cartel Wars down to San Luis Obispo. And that is July 8th and 9th. And then you're going to want to definitely go out and do the Ellie Remember and the other foundation. You just want to go do it. You want to be there October 1st out in Colorado at Dynamic Paintball. Let's all get together and have a good time and make some money and show some support for these groups. People like us is what it takes to get out there and help them. And then remember, I've got the WCPL Northern California Classic coming up, and it's August 5th and 6th, and it's at Shooter's Paintball up in Nicholas, California, and that's right up by Sacramento. So if you get a chance, you're going to want to go ahead and register. It's up and running right now on PB League. So everybody, remember, like we did tonight and like Andy did tonight, offering Chong, to help him get set up in Colorado. When we all work together, we make paintball bigger and better. So until next Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock Pacific time on Facebook, on Flagpole Productions. Please, everybody, play hard, play safe, play fair. Get out there and play some paintball. All right? See you guys now.